Well, good morning again, friends. On this video, I'm going to continue the teaching of the Preludio of the Bach Partita. And this is part 2. And we're going to be basically on this Henley edition at the end of page 1. And hopefully I'll be able to get through most of page 2 on this video. So we're at this point where we're soft. We've made the diminuendo coming down off the famous passage, and we're playing. Obviously need to have that bridge down to start this. Now, for me, I try to put as little wear at my age on the 4th finger as possible. So in the second bar, which is bar 30, I simply play 3 open. All the time I'm playing open A instead of. It's up to you. You make that decision. But it works to play open. Sounds pretty interesting. It goes through very nicely. So you have your option there. Now, in measure 31, for me, the solution is not to bridge the C sharp and D sharp. It just, for some reason, it's a very tight feeling in my hand. So I just don't bridge it. It's just one of those things where, hey, it doesn't work, so I'm not going to do it. If it works for you, go ahead and do the bridge. So I can't quite get that. Or at least I can get it, but it takes a lot of extra effort. And in the heat of battle, when I'm running through this thing, I don't want to be having to think about something special like that. It actually releases my energy to not bridge there. So it's a decision, and you also make the same decision. If it's better for you to bridge, bridge. You just have to think that as you're coming through. So then we're... Okay, now this is measure 32. Play the open. Now put the bridge down. I'm putting the bridge down right away as I put that first finger in. And then I play a 4. Because I play a 3rd finger D. See, all those etudes I've practiced, I'm really good at playing a 3rd finger and a 4. And it's very, very nice to spread the work out. See, it's really, really easy. Then I make a sudden shift to second, kind of a high second position, right on the C sharp. Kind of nice. Because I'm setting myself up for the next bar where we've got the... Now this one I bridge, the C sharp, G sharp. And then this would be bar 34, coming back to whatever position E sharp is. I guess it's a high first position. I don't even think position there. I'm just aiming for that E sharp. Now it's interesting. In this one, I'm bridging the F sharp, C sharp because it's a more comfortable position for my hand. For some reason in this bar 31, I couldn't do it on the A and the E string, or it was uncomfortable. Just the angle of my hand, or the way my violin is set up, whatever it is. Always, as I say, you make the decision for yourself. This one I bridge. And here's my open A again. Now I'm playing 1-4. I can easily extend that one. Playing opens all the way through on there. Then, now notice I already had the extension for the E sharp, so coming back on this one, my hand's already set up for it. Works really nicely. Now you have option here at this point, the last beat of bar 36. You can either play... You could play a 4th finger E sharp going to a bridge. I could never get the bridge clean. For some reason, going to the E sharp disturbed the way my hand fit, on the violin. So the solution for me was to play 4, back a half step, and preserve that feeling of G sharp. Not my favorite fingering by any means, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And of course, right back to the bridge on the G sharp, C sharp. So I play it. See, it works cleanly. Okay. So now, and of course, noted at this point we started piano all the way back. You know, we have options here. I don't even mark it in the music. I just kind of, how do I feel? So I'm obviously, this whole passage is just a rising passage making a crescendo. To bar 32. We got a crescendo to forte this. Then, of course, if we'd like, we've got the crescendo all the way down to bar 33, and maybe we make a subito piano here. Start the crescendo going again. And by this point in bar 37, we're forte again, but you see we've got a little more interest going, and you know, this is a long perpetual motion type of piece. So it's nice to put in some of these dynamics. It's in the Bach style. There's nothing wrong with. We don't always have to be doing terrace dynamics. There are some passages that really fit the terrace dynamics, and then and terrace of course means son forte, son piano, son forte, piano. But doing these crescendos and diminuendos are sometimes very appropriate. All right, so let's see how far have we got. All right, so we've gotten up to a 37. Now here's what, going across two strings could be an issue, but I don't see this as a problem. We don't have to do a fancy fingering to go to second position, you know, something like this. Just stay in first position, and there's a bridge again. Now, here we have a slur suddenly. It's very comfortable. We might as well make it more comfortable. Instead, you know, you could play a separate bow, but I think it's in the style. And bridge that last one. See, that feels very, very good, and it fits. So, now here's Bach's original. Here we would go to half position, and then I come back to first to set up the D sharp going across strings. So one more time. Half. Third position. So I'm in third position. D sharp right on top of that second finger A. Then I have to open up to get back to, actually I'm oozing, I call it oozing. Oozing into second position from third. One more time. So that's very, very clean through there. And there's plenty of time to get the third position. And now we come to this wonderful passage of 43, which is very challenging. The first bar, of course, is easy. Again, I recommend slur the first two, and then the last two up to recover that bowing. Might as well be comfortable instead of trying to do it all separate. In the second bar, in bar 44, it's traditionally very difficult to extend out into that fingered octave position in that half position. So, I mean, some players could do it very easily. With my hand, it doesn't work that easily. So it's quite easy to do, come immediately to first position. You won't even ever notice it. You just play this passage in first position, and then back to half, and then in the next bar. So you alternate bars, you're in half position, and then you come out into first position. And then in bar 47, that's quite easy. Extend up for the the F double sharp. And you notice each time I'm continuing this style of making a sort of an accent and taking a little time. I feel it musically. It's not just a mechanical thing that I'm doing. I really feel it. Oh, it really emphasizes this forte. And this famous measure right here, 49, it's a crazy fingering, but it seems to work where you start out with the fingered octave, and you got the second finger, and then because of the angle of it's easy to just roll. Don't ever pick the finger up, and you can do that, and then you're coming back to half again, and in measure 51, I start that with a fourth. I can do it with a fourth finger as long as I put some vibrato. If I just stick it there without a little vibrato, it sounds pretty yucky, you know, sort of just like a clunk. But, and of course the next measure I'm already on a third finger, so it's a little easier to make that one sound good. But coming out of this other passage, it's nice to put just a little extra energy into that, in that fourth finger C sharp. So now at 52, got to be careful of that one. It's a little different. Set up that D sharp. Be aware of that D sharp fourth finger. There's no cheating past that. You know, you're not going to play a 1-1, something like that. You gotta drive. You gotta use force here. We're this is, you know, after all this other passage work we've had, this is an emotional. I mean, we're trying to reinforce, oh, we've got more to say in this passage, right? You can see I'm starting to get excited here. Same thing here, forte. And I'm using open E strings. Square that one up. Here's a down bow. Same thing. And now we have to suddenly. There's that piano. This is not original, but I really feel it just craves it. I don't want to be blasting through forte all the way through here, where I have an opportunity for contrast. Then forte again. And again, here I'm going to do a bowing. Oh, I should mention also there in bar 57, we do this. Do a slur on the first two notes and then the last two notes to make it comfortable for the arm. And then when we come down to bar 60, do the slur again. Piano. So I do the same thing. I do it in forte and I do it in piano. It's a little bit complicated on this one. I feel it. To make sure those open strings speak. Sometimes they don't speak that well. Okay, let's see. Oh my gosh, we've already gone 13 minutes, but that's okay. Let's just run through this next passage, which is the parallel of the first one. I start this passage to make the clean shift to third position, to fourth position. See, it's really nice when you know hitting that subito forte to be able to play two notes on the A string and then get over to the D string. And then here we go, forte again. So let me just concentrate here and see if I can get the, again, nice crescendo and then a long diminuendo. So play again. this one is easier. The angle, at least for me, the angle of my hand is more comfortable, whereas over on the A, E, and D string, I don't quite have the same angle going down. But the same fingering applies. Where I'm starting the passage in 4th position with an extension to the A. Now I'm playing a harmonic G, and then shifting up to 5th position. Making a diminuendo. The crucial moments when you're practicing this is when you have to make the shift. Everything else works. You know, when you're not shifting, you're just conscious of this elbow action, just keeping that repetitive down, you know, up, down, up. Okay, so I think at this point, I will stop the video. This has been part 2. And stop the video, and we'll do a 3rd part for the end of the movement. Thanks for listening. I hope it's helpful for you.